welcome to the
Why you got to point out?
I don't know, man. That's what I do. Hey, yo. Fuck this dude. Welcome to the CJ Action Show. I'm CJ Action.
G-Money, what's up, good people?
Today, in honor of the assassination of Dr. King, this is the 50th, anniversary of his assassination. You know, if you can call it.
I don't want to say anniversary. Well, it marks 50 years to this day, April 4th, that America killed the king.
Right. So in honor of that,
he came in looking like a king. He came in looking like a king. I'm looking like a pauper.
No.
So I figured I'll switch it up and put a tie on.
King, and then the sanitation worker. He would have had the jeans, the jackets on, back in the day. So in honor of that, today we want to talk about King, his death, and whether it had any lasting change or significance in the year 2018.
50 years later.
Right. Now, of course, everybody knows King went to Memphis in order to march and protest with the sanitation workers.
Wasn't it called the Poor People's March?
No, that was in D.C. This was just for the sanitation workers.
Right, okay.
But that's why he was there, to try and change those conditions, speak out for those who were underserved,
right,
underrepresented, and they just wanted a small increment as far as being able to have their money or their pay increased.
Not only that, they just wanted a decent wage and the same rights and benefits as their white coworkers.
Right. So, our question that we want to ask you all as general public, as well as we tried to research it ourselves, was, did anything change? I was listening to NPR this morning, and they were saying that Memphis is the poorest metropolitan city in the country.
Wow.
The news reporter from NPR, actually, she's an affiliate, but she lives and works in Memphis, said that she went to the sanitation department, and everybody's majority black. The workers are majority black. The frontline supervisors are majority black. But everybody who's in a managerial position is still white.
Still white.
Anybody outside the public sector is still white. So if your living wage is low, your income is low, and your opportunity for advancements and upward mobility is non-existent, did anything change?
Right.
So that's a question we want to ask. What do you think about that, Fred?
Well, in the case of the Memphis situation, obviously the statistics prove nothing changed. And I hate the fact that this man gave his life to create change. Not just that situation, but for the world to look at themselves in a different manner and to really consciously ask yourself, like, what's all this hate for? I mean, what is the purpose of all this hate?
Do you see anything between 1968 and 2018 with the climate of hate, having a demagogue in the office?
To me.
Still existing.
To me.
Unarmed black men getting murdered.
To me. Now, I'm a revolutionary. To me, I have lost all hope with this country as far as race relations is concerned. It was a mess in 68, and it's a fucking mess in 2018. And now, at least back in 68, we had President Lyndon B. Johnson. Now, I don't know what his secret alternative motives was.
Yeah, but
Lyndon B. Johnson did sign
at least
a lot of civil rights laws into play.
Right, if
Kennedy,
it was just surface.
Right.
At least it was done.
At least it was done. He didn't spew that rhetoric that this fool in office today is spewing.
And try and reverse all of the positive changes that Obama made.
Right. And the reason why I dislike this president so much, because so many people have died to bridge that gap between the color lines. Whites and blacks died. Let me just say that. Gave their life for the civil rights movement and fought so hard. And the ultimate sacrifice is giving your life for a cause. And then you have this coward who comes into office and just trying to reverse everything. You know,
and once again,
here's a president
again.
who actually every time he talk, he's preaching hate.
But he wouldn't do that if there wasn't a demographic that would.
Let me tell you something. 45 is not the exception to the rule. He is the fucking rule.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, there would be no reason to say those things if it wasn't a constituency who buying it up, buying into it.
And this is what I am saying. What I'm saying is this. 45 is in office because the people who voted for him feel in their heart and in their minds the same way he do.
Now, how is hate helping you to have a better quality of life,
Right.
better education for your children? Now,
Absolutely.
some of these same people are still on welfare,
Right.
Still,
Right.
There's no middle class,
Still below the poverty line.
below the poverty line. But you think because of the color of your skin, it gives you an advantage?
Alabama,
You got no advantage?
Mississippi,
Ohio.
West Virginia,
Come on.
Tennessee,
Even
all
though-
those states
Even in those battleground states, the people still are struggling.
struggling.
So how is it that you hating me because of the color of my skin
Gonna
how's that
improve
helping you?
Your living condition.
Your
How is that going to help you put food on your table?
economic position is still the same.
The same.
We should be working together to try and uplift ourselves as a people, as a nation, not in race divide, race wars. That's not helping us. That's not helping the situation at all.
Not at all. Not at all.
You don't like me, I don't like you, and neither one of us ain't got shit.
Ain't got shit.
But the people who are helping to propagate or helping to keep the propaganda going, who are the rich people like Donald Trump, continue to prosper.
Right. Continue to
And
prosper.
look, and let me tell you all, they're laughing at us.
They are.
Everybody who's a neo-Nazi, a Nazi,
They're laughing
super
at us.
conservative, you're part of the alt-right, they're laughing at you too.
If you people saw the Dave Chappelle show, the comedy special on Netflix, this is what Dave Chappelle said. He said he knows and he feels sorry. He knows and he feels sorry for white folks, poor white folks, because they call them white trash. And he said that's what rich white people call poor white people. He said the reason why he know this because he made so much money the year before, he got invited to these rich white people homes. And he said, I was in their homes. And this is what they call poor white people. White trash.
Poor white people know that, but
White trash.
they think that there's still a certain level of privilege that they get with the color of the skin. That's over.
That's
It's
done.
all about economics.
It's all about economics.
It's a class war.
It's a class war, not a race war.
Not a race war.
It's a class war, not a race war.
And
The
none
rich
of
is
us are
playing
gonna enter
chess.
and they're laughing at us.
They playing chess with the fucking middle class and the poor. And we thinking you on a goddamn chessboard with checkers,
And
checker
each
pieces.
time there's an opportunity for new legislation, or anytime those conservatives want to advance their own agenda, they can always count on poor whites.
That's right.
They say, hey, listen, we don't want to give any entitlement programs to brown people, people of color, even though poor white people are benefiting from these entitlement programs too.
That's right.
Like welfare.
But guess what their ass is gonna be getting now? Instead of a goddamn welfare card to go get your food, they're gonna get a box of goddamn MREs like the military. And don't get upset when you eating that shit because you voted for it. Lyndon B. Johnson said, if you can make the poorest white person feel better than the best black person, they will vote against their best interests every time. You people are more concerned with a decent living wage for somebody who works in McDonald's. You mad at them because they want $15 an hour, but you won't say shit about the 1% of people in the world controlling 82% of the wealth in the world. You don't have nothing to say about that shit, but you want to argue and fuss and protest that somebody in Burger King who work 8 or 10 hours a day want $15 an hour.
What about the health care?
Oh.
Now, there are more white people who are benefiting from Obamacare than minorities.
First off, you had people in West Virginia didn't even know the Affordable Health Care Act was goddamn Obamacare.
Say, I don't like Obamacare.
I don't like Obamacare.
Do you like Affordable Health
Oh,
Care?
hell
I
yeah.
like that. I like that.
Hell
They
yeah.
don't even know it's the same thing. You know, you can put that moniker on and say Obamacare because it's tied to a color. I don't like it, but you're still benefiting from it when it's called by its federal name.
It's ridiculous.
Stupid as shit.
It's ridiculous.
So what we're saying is, what did King die for?
Real talk. Then this is real talk. Coming from G Money, and I'm serious about this. I wish to God Martin Luther King would have stayed in that church, preached to his congregation, loved his family, and mind his goddamn business. Because he gave his life for nothing. Ain't shit changed in this country. Black folks still don't own shit. We still powerless. We create hip hop. We got to go to white people and beg them for a record deal. Goddamn black on black crime is off the chain. Cops killing black unarmed black people is off the chain. Now you having all these neo-Nazis walking up the streets of American soil with goddamn flags, and you got a president in office saying that they good, decent people. I wish Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Medgar Evers would have stayed in their lane, loved their family, mind their goddamn business, because ain't shit changed in this country.
It's the same
shit.
Right.
It's the same shit. Them people in Tennessee still living below the poverty line. 50 years later.
2 days.
50 years later.
Nothing has changed. So, we want to know what you all think.
That's my personal opinion. If you feel I'm wrong, leave a comment, subscribe, and press like.
Right. You do that and let us know. Sometimes we may even answer or respond to your comments, but we have to engage ourselves and be engaged in the world. Let us hear what you have to say, because we're definitely going to tell you what we think about the situation.
You goddamn right. And it's going to be raw and uncut, and it's going to come from the heart, and we are no tongue biters. If you want to watch a podcast where we spitting the truth, we are not tongue biters.
We ain't no Miro, Dessous,
we ain't here
to no tomfoolery and shit. You may see some type of entertainment, but we're here to try and educate you, try and enlighten you, and also try to spark the conversation. Nothing's going to get done if we don't even engage in what the fuck is going on in our world.
Absolutely.
And read.
Absolutely.
We try to stress this to you all every day. What Fred and I do, some people give gifts to each other, give somebody some bourbon, some wine, or some shit. We give books. We give literature.
Right. Start giving gifts. Start giving books for gifts. I don't care what kind of book it is. It could be African American literature. It could be authors from that's white, Japanese,
American, European, but
it doesn't matter.
Read.
Give books as gifts. Stop giving Hennessy. Stop giving money.
Right.
Stop buying your children Jordans on their birthday. Buy them books. Because I'm going to tell you something. Once you begin to read, the world becomes a different place to you.
Right. Your perspective changes.
It changes completely. So stop with all these monetary gifts and these gifts that just going to fade away. Start giving books as gifts. Give it on Christmas. Give it on birthdays. Give it on anniversaries.
Right.
Give it for no reason.
Right.
If you like a good book, buy 2 copies, give to your wife, give to your homeboy. But start reading. Reading sparks imagination, and with imagination, you can do anything you want in this world.
So once again, I'm CJ Action.
G Money.
Peace.
Y'all have a great day.
We stay up, down, down.